Hey, you guys, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. And today we're going to be talking about the last place you want to keep your money. That's right. Okay, if you know me, you know I'm always talking about the importance of budgeting and saving for an emergency fund, investing, creating temporary sinking funds, even for the future. I mean, all the things. But today, I want to tell you about the one place you definitely don't want to leave your money long term. And with the rise of the internet and smartphones, there has been a significant increase in identity theft, security breaches, scams, you name it. And because of this increase, it is more important than ever for you to be vigilant about where you're keeping your money. So I want to go over some recent updates on this topic and how to protect yourself and your money to make sure that they're not at risk, and where to store your money long-term so it grows over time, and the fact that it's secure. Okay, before we get into all of that, I want to tell you about op games. Now, if you knew me, you would know that I love a good game. My kids and I, this is what we do as a family. We love it. But just recently, I played a game of Telestrations at the office with some of our team, and you guys, it was hysterical. I had so much fun. And there's a couple of reasons why I think that you need Telestrations in your life. So number one, it is affordable. It's under $20. And honestly, it creates such lasting memories with you, your family, and your friends. It's just great. Number two, it's super easy to learn. So just kind of think of the old school game of telephone, but with illustrations. And if you're a terrible artist like me, makes it even better. Which, number three, the last reason is laughter. Okay, laughter is so good for the health of you, your relationships, everything. So start making memories today. Go now and get Telestrations at Walmart or wherever you buy board games. And tag myself and Op Games on Instagram if you play it, because we want to see. All right, let's get back to talking about where you shouldn't keep your money. So I saw a Washington Post article back in June about 3 places people should never store their money, and the headline obviously got my attention. So the article says that Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal are apps that are becoming more and more popular, but they do not protect your money well. Now, at first, I kind of was like, well, of course they don't protect your money. Like, who's putting tons of money into these apps? Like, who's just leaving money there? Well, a lot of people. So those are all platforms, again, that I've heard of. And I use some of these apps, but I would never choose to store a large amount of my money in a digital payment app. But then I got to thinking again how common it is for people to run their businesses using these apps. And even if you work a traditional job with an annual salary or an hourly wage, a lot of people take Venmo payments for their side hustles or use it to pay babysitters. So they're constantly being used, and people can start to store more and more cash in these apps. So app payments have also become more popular with small businesses and freelance services. I mean, if you go to a food truck here in Nashville, that's usually how you pay. I pay my therapist over Venmo. I mean, it is so common. Okay, so if you're anything like me, maybe people have sent you money, you've forgotten about it, and you leave it in there and it grows, or you hear people again that are using this for their checking account. But listen, you guys, I just want to warn you, people are losing money left and right in these payment apps, especially if you are just leaving money in them. The article reports that a federal consumer watchdog is cautioning customers not to keep money in apps like Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and even Zelle, because that money is not insured by the government and can be completely lost if these companies fail. So basically, these kind of payment methods are becoming more and more popular, which again, we use a lot, but they don't have the same level of protection as traditional banks or credit unions, again, if you're leaving large amounts of money in them. And like any exchange that takes place on the internet, the occasional error can happen. So know this, you guys. So whether it's a random technical issue or an intentional hacker, whatever it is, man, they can take money digitally from you if you leave money in there. Another article on this topic talks about how some states do offer protection for app users, but the rules are pretty inconsistent. According to the Consumer Bureau, some states allow companies to invest customer funds in risky security measures, and some impose no restrictions at all. So it sounds like they're missing some kind of blanket protection over the system. But why are we just hearing about this? Because according to the first article, it's largely due to the fact a growing number of Americans prefer to make payments without cash. So yes, we all know this. old school cash, like people just don't carry it around anymore. And paying, with cash or even your debit card, I'm going to tell you though, is the most trustworthy payment method out there because, again, it's all protected. It's real. It's all there. Now, apparently 12% of frequent app users have reported sending money to the wrong person. Oh my gosh, this makes me so nervous. George Campbell did this. He talked about this on our Smart Money Happy Hour podcast. And again, it's really kind of freaky because as these things were being published, it talks about that at the end of 2022, none of the 4 largest payment platforms, Venmo, Cash App, Apple Cash, and Zelle, offer reimbursement protection when this happens. So again, we're supposed to just trust that this random person that we send our money to will send it back to us. Now, George Campbell, in his experience, the person did, which gives me such faith in humanity. But again, it all kind of seems very risky. Now, technically, you could dispute any faulty charges with your bank. But again, there's a lot of phone calls and paperwork just to get access to money that was yours in the first place before the internet got involved. So don't get me wrong, there is definitely pros to using digital payment platforms. It's convenient. Again, I use it. It's fine, but you don't want to have a large amount of money just sitting in them because people do carry less cash today. So it's nice to have the flexibility to pay for things directly without having to go to the bank and go to the ATM. But again, the point is that we're learning more and more that this can't be a crutch for you to rely on storing your money and using it as a checking account. So immediately transfer your money from these apps into your checking account, okay? So keeping any amount of money in the app just to use it for next time to pay someone, or again, as your personal checking, it's not wise. Even if it feels convenient, just do bank-to-bank transfer and let the app be the middleman, but don't let the app be your checking account. All right, before I talk about where you should keep your money, here is another one of our sponsors. So guys, I know we're all looking for ways to save, especially on healthcare costs. So do yourself a favor and check out Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's biblically based healthcare cost sharing that can keep your budget under control. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget. All right, so to wrap us up, let's talk about where you should be keeping your money. So if you are following the Ramsey baby steps, these are a series of steps that help you with your money goals to take control of your money and move it through this process of possibly being stressed and freaked out to debt-free and building wealth. So if you have student loan debt, credit card debt, a car loan, and you're trying to get that starter emergency fund of $1,000, you want that first before you go and pay off all of your debts. Then once you are debt-free, you want to bump up that starter emergency fund to 3 to 6 months of expenses. So when you are saving for your emergency fund, whether it's the $1,000 or the 3 to 6 months of expenses, I recommend putting this in a high-yield savings account or even a money market account. So these kinds of long-term savings accounts allow for interest to passively be earned, which is great while your money's just sitting there, but also your money's still there in a bank where you can go and get it if you need it versus investing it and it's in the market. It's much more difficult to get. So the point of having an emergency fund, think about it. It's more like insurance than an investment. But if you have the option of just a boring old savings account or something that you can actually earn some more money, let's choose this one where you can still get it. Your cash is still liquid, but you're earning some more interest on it. That's a win. All right, so both of these options, whether it's a high yield savings account or a money market account, are low risk and again, high reward because you're able to get to your money when you need it. So after all the debts are paid, your emergency fund is fully funded, then you're gonna move on to investing 15% of your income into retirement. So you wanna do this with your 401k program at work, a Roth IRA. So there's places for you to invest your money. Now, when you're investing your money, keep contributing consistently your money in a place that is proven to increase your earnings over time. So by the time you need these funds for retirement, you might be shocked of how much money is in there because it's been growing and because of compound interest. So my advice is always put your money in something that has a proven track record over time. So things like crypto that came up were really exciting for a moment. A lot of people lost a lot of money doing that because it didn't have a long track record. So again, be investing your money in something that has a long track record. Now, Venmo, Cash App, Apple Pay, all these apps, they're new, they're convenient, but don't trust them to store all of your money in there because remember, they have little to no protection. So save that emergency fund in a good money market account or high yield savings account, and then invest your money in good growth stock mutual funds using your Roth IRA, 401k for it to grow over time. So if you need a tool to help you get started on all of this, you guys, EveryDollar, the budgeting app, is one of the best resources out there. It lets you create budgeting categories for your specific needs, which also allows you to save your money before putting it into a safe, trusted, long-term account. All right, you guys, make sure to send this video to a friend who is frequently using one of these apps so that they know possibly some risks that are going on with them. And for you guys, as always, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.